We do seek wisdom, understanding, insights into the views and circumstances of others, strength to seek what we believe in, humility to accept the combined decisions of others, patience, good humour at all times, tolerance and courtesy, while working in the best interests of our community. And in light of that extremely positive affirmation, I would like to say to Councillor Cam, you're going to need all of that for a baby boy. Congratulations, Cam. Good hands here. Boys are the noisiest, the toughest. I don't know. I never had any, but good luck.
Real men.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. It's probably hit the media by now.
Oh, it has.
What, the name?
Yep.
The name's in advance.
Yeah, Steve.
It's probably a name like John. We did look at Wade.
Call it Lennon.
Something with a little, but probably something with a bit of gloss to it. Worldly name. No.
Leonard. Yeah, no.
My 17th grandchild. 7.
Right. Now I want to move to the apologies. We have an apology for lateness from Councillor Dick and early departure, depending on how we go. Councillor Ross, I see, and Councillor George is late also. So I'll move the apologies generally. Second, please, Councillor Christine.
Yep.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
It's passed. Right, declarations of interest. There are none of those. Confirmation of the minutes as per the agenda. I'll move that variously. Is there a seconder, please? Councillor Sharon. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's passed. Acknowledgements and achievements. I just want to first of all make acknowledgement of the achievements. Obviously been a big month on the achievements list. City Rail Link construction start, and also trees on top of Maunga Kia. Sort of quite a quinella, those two, and so it has been a very, very big month. Also want to acknowledge many in our community who have been honoured in the Queen's Birthday Honours list, celebrating the Queen's 90th birthday. Particularly I want to acknowledge George, who's here. George, congratulations. Also, there were a couple of others, Chrissy and Sissy Rock, and there was one other person, who?
Lexi Mathis.
Lexi, that's right. For those who are specifically and directly connected with the organisation, it's great to see them feature in our honours list. So now, councillors, there is one acknowledgement, and that's Marguerite or Margaret Jones. Margaret is a West Auckland and possibly New Zealand's most active activist, and she died peacefully on the June the 20th, aged 95, surrounded by her family. A great woman. As Deputy Mayor Penny Hulse said in Margaret's Western Leader obituary, she was a stalwart of the West, a woman who fought hard for the things she believed in, and who was a passionate protester and a working class hero. She had an outrageous style and public conscience which will be terribly missed. She was a truly outstanding and great Aucklander and New Zealander. She fought the good fight with a great sense of humour and had some real fun along the way. Her Henderson home was lined with slogans, including her motto, "Don't panic, go organic." and she ended up in a Good Charlotte music video aged 83 dancing to the rock and roll she always loved. She was approached about appearing in the video after somebody noticed her dancing ability at a health expo. When the video was released, Margaret was happy to have world famous legs. A school teacher at Pomaria Primary School for many years, she continued her teaching right into her 90s and was highly respected for abilities in that regard. As her death notice in the Herald said, she was a matriarch to many New Zealanders, a battler for organics, animal and human rights. Her two main curses were anti-vivisection and were anti-vivisection and organic gardening, and by all accounts she was an outstanding gardener. While her son Brodie's motorbike racing scared Margaret, she knew how much he loved it and supported him on race day by putting inspiring messages in her window. Her wish for people to make a donation to one of her causes in lieu of funeral gifts or flowers was testament to the extraordinary woman that she was. She will be sorely missed by all. She's survived by Brodie, Marks, Reese and Shelley, 9 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. Can we all please stand to Mark? Good, and thank you. She must have been a great person to know. Right, now I would like to move on to petitions. Councillors, I want to acknowledge that I've received a petition from those that are specifically concerned about spray-free streets. It has been directed to the Regional Strategy and Policy Committee, where I will attend that committee in recognition of that petition and look for further discussion and review of the matter of weed spraying in our community. I know it's a live issue and debate, and I want to acknowledge those who presented the petition to me and assure them that the discussion will continue in that space. I move on to item 7, public input, and we have one request from Penny Bright that I have acceded to. And Penny will talk to us on CCO governance. So Penny, welcome, and the floor is yours for 5 minutes, please.
Thank you, Lynn. Well, it appears that my 9-year one-person rates revolt for transparency and accountability in the spending of public monies on consultants and contractors is finally getting traction. The Local Government and Environment Select Committee has recently reported back on my petition, which requested that the House conduct an urgent inquiry into the cost effectiveness, transparency and democratic accountability to Auckland Council and the majority of Auckland citizens and ratepayers of all Auckland council-controlled organisations. The recommendation of this select committee of lawmakers in the highest court in the land was: the Local Government and Environment Committee has considered petition 2014/33 of Penelope Mary Bright and 55 others, and the report from the Controller and Auditor General, Governance and Accountability of Council-Controlled Organisations, and recommends that the House take note of its report. Now, if a Select Committee of Parliament can recommend that the House takes note of this report, I strongly recommend that this governing body of Auckland Council equally not just takes note, but implements some of the recommendations that I have made to this committee. Because the conclusion of this report was: we would like to thank the Office of the Auditor General for its report on the governance and accountability of CCOs. The report provided us with useful information that helped us to consider Ms. Bright's petition. We would also like to thank the petitioner for coming down from Auckland to speak to us about her petition. we agree that ratepayers should be able to easily access information about how public money collected through rates is spent. We support the petitioner's plea for transparency and standardisation of the information that Auckland CCOs provide to the public. What they spell out in the report is that the following. The petitioner acknowledged that some Auckland CCOs have made progress towards providing more transparent information. She praised Watercare Services Limited for acting on some of her concerns. However, she says that more needs to be done. In particular, she believes that all Auckland CCOs should clearly and uniformly display information on their websites about the procurement of their awarded contracts. She suggests that the following standard information be made readily available to the public: the unique contract number, the name of the consultant or contractor, a brief description of the scope of the contract, the start and finish dates for the contract, the monetary value of the contract including subcontractors, whether the contract was awarded by direct appointment or public tender. To require all CCOs to clearly display this information, given that, according to the petitioner, they are not classed as local authorities for the purposes of the Local Government Rating Act, the petitioner sees value in making minor legislative changes to one or more of the following acts: the Local Government Act, the Local Government Rating Act, or the Local Government Auckland Council Act. It's also mentioned is the petitioner believes that transparency of CCO operations would be improved if the Public Records Act 2005, specifically Section 17, requirement to create and maintain records, was implemented and enforced in a proper way. This is not the first time that I have gone to Parliament on the issue of transparency in contracting. Way back, I had a petition 2008/2, and the Local Government and Environment Select Committee reported back. Their recommendation was that the Local Government and Environment Committee recommends to the government that the Minister of Local Government consider the issues raised in petition 2008/2 of Penelope Mary Bright and 109 others. What I did there, I sent an Official Information Act request out to 85 councils, every council in the country, district, city and regional, and I asked them for the devilish detail about contracting. And what happened was, I did this all at my own time and expense and tabulated the results. And what I found out was basically there were no councils that were giving the devilish detail that I requested. The conclusion 7 years ago was that we are mindful that the increasing range of services provided by councils and the commensurate rises in rates have provoked public interest in the way councils spend ratepayers' money, especially in the current economic climate. We note that there appears to be no consistency across councils on the kind of information routinely disclosed and the means for making information readily available to the public. In our view, the petitioner raises valid questions about the accountability and transparency of local government operations. We understand that improving local government's accountability and fiscal responsibility have a high priority with the Minister of Local Government, who was Rodney Hyde in those days, and are advised that a review of fiscal transparency in local government is currently underway. It is our view that the issues raised by the petitioner are best dealt with as part of a comprehensive review, and we recommend that the Minister consider the issues raised in this petition. Did he? No. So,
Penny, we're over 5.
Oh,
so
sorry.
You're rounding up, hey?
Okay, yes, I am rounding up. I'll say it again. You cannot check for cost effectiveness unless you know where the costs fall. You cannot check with where the costs fall unless you can precisely follow the dollar. And what really concerns me, that a substantive piece of research that has been done internationally has proven that contracting out is twice as expensive as in-house provision. And the last point that I'd like to make in terms of the private procurement model, when I went to the Transparency International Anti-Corruption Conference in 2010, the global procurement market then was $14 trillion, of which it was estimated 2.5 trillion was estimated to be lost in bribery and corruption. $2,500 billion. Wouldn't that help feed, clothe, water and shelter a few poor people? So in terms of this whole procurement model, I believe we've had 30 years of this neoliberal model based on public is bad, private is good. In my view, the only ones who have benefited from running businesses, councils and government in a more business-like way are those businesses who have managed to get the contracts. And if there's no cost-benefit analysis that supports it's a more cost-effective use of taxpayer, ratepayer money, then it's corporate welfare. And I am absolutely opposed to corporate welfare. Thank you.